This is not a political agenda. It has nothing to do with gender equality or inequality. This is not an attempt to reiterate that what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Nah. This is a tired liturgical prayer falling from the tired lips of a 7-year-old boy. This poet praying tirelessly that upon his mother's return, she would see the tired scars in between his thighs, and this time she will not beat him up for being rough or being reckless. Rather, she would see the tired teary map lines around his tired eyes, pointing at the 19-year-old maid at the corner who tirelessly molests him in her absence. This poem is a public service announcement, an SOS call, a plea for you to take off the glasses of society and look closely at the skin of the man sitting next to you, for the body of a man is a braille text. You can read his emotions by simply touching him. This is a man's anatomy. The body of a man is a hurricane, seeking freedom into vulnerability, but his eyes are too damned, so he keeps this storm tucked in. The body of a man is a city under siege. His only refuge is the sound of his muffled voice behind his throat, telling him that men do not cry out for help. The body of a man is a town, torn between heaven, hell, and earth, and it's okay. They say there is nothing beautiful about a man's naked body. I agree. How about his burdens? Are they also too ugly to be looked upon? The emotions of a man is a treasure he cannot afford to keep, so he liquidates it into valuable cash for family and friends. They call him a weightlifter, so he has learned to put his hands to work so he can foot his bills. This poem is for every 16-year-old boy who has been laden with the cross of responsibility, being dragged through Golgotha by friends and family, and should in case he die in the process, his masculinity will still be questioned. This poem is for my father. October 20, 2020, when the news of the shooting at the Lekki toll gate came knocking on our door through his radio, he welcomed the news as though he had lived the experience. He said that boys like him were taught to live, breathe, and move through pain, death, and pressure. January 1st, 2021, he did not wake up to the first sunlight. January 11th, when the autopsy results came, they said he had cracks on his shoulders and on his thighs. I told him my father died after colonization, this time not by white men, but by white lies that said that men are not allowed to feel. So I have a question: where does a man go to when he wants to grieve? I have another question: is a man allowed to feel? No! Rule number 1 of masculinity: a man is not allowed to feel. A man is not allowed to feel unless he's filling up an emotional need or filling up the space in the coffin. Rule number 1 of masculinity: a man is not allowed to feel unless he's filling up an emotional need or filling up the space in the coffin. And I hope that when this poem becomes a prayer, that chaos will give way for peace. And I pray that every boy that comes after me will learn that his tongue is not a pill to be swallowed, and that it is okay for him to say I am not fine when he is not fine.